Greetings, Boogie fans! Michael here, and in the past, I made a video going over the toughest gym leader in every game. But that video bases the gym leader's strength on how they fare against the player. I want to know the strongest gym leaders if they fought each other. In this video, I will be determining the strongest gym leader of every single one of the 18 Pokemon types, based on how they would fare in battle against each other. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel, pick up a hat or a plushie at mnjtvmerch.com, and let's dive in. We'll go through this alphabetically, so let's start with Bug. The Bug type gym leaders are Bugsy, Burgh, and Viola. The teams I will be using for each gym leader are what I consider to be their most full team. Ideally a team from their home region, but not necessarily if it's not available. Bugsy's team is his Heart Gold Soul Silver rematch team. Burgh's team is his Unova Leaders Tournament team. His World Leaders team removes his Escavalier, which I don't like because he uses a Karrablast on his regular gym team in the challenge mode of Black 2 and White 2. By the way, if I'm using a Gym Leaders team from the Pokemon World Tournament, I'm most likely going to be going for their specific region Leaders Tournament team rather than the World Leaders Tournament team, because the World Leaders Tournament, the teams they give them are more randomly selected from various regions, and I think it makes more sense for these gym leaders to use Pokemon from their home region. And Viola's most full team is a Masquerain and a Vivillon, and that's it. Yeah, she's not the strongest one. I could give Viola the team I gave her in my If Every Gym Leader Was the Last One video, but that's a non-canon team, and I think that would be an unfair advantage. For all the gym leaders in this video, they can only utilize official teams, which, spoiler, means the Kalos gym leaders are gonna do really bad because none of them ever use more than 3 Pokemon, because they're the gym battles in Kalos and nowhere else. So it's down to Bugsy versus Burgh with these teams. One thing I should specify before I delve into deciding between these two is that I'm not looking at the movesets of the teams I decide. The teams are just the species. I can't look at movesets because these teams appear in multiple different generations, and it would just get wacky to try and figure that out. I can consider the moves that species can learn, and I will be doing it based on Generation 8 mechanics, but I'm not looking at the specific movesets of the teams that will show up on your screen. Right away we can see they both use Vespiquen, so we can basically cancel those out. Once we do that, Burgh has 3 Pokemon whose secondary typing is good against Bug by resisting it, being super effective against it, or both, Crustle, Durant, and Escavalier. Bugsy has 2, Scizor and Yanmega. That's a point in Burgh's favor. Another mark against Bugsy is his Shedinja, a Pokemon that may as well not be there since it's instantly KO'd by a super effective move. Vespiquen and Crustle have stab super effective moves, and the other members can learn them as well, like Liviani's Aerial Ace. Remember, not looking at specific movesets, just looking at what the Pokemon can learn at some point. Because of Burgh having more bug-stopping members and Bugsy's Shedinja being dead weight, I am naming Burgh the strongest bug-type gym leader. Next up is the Dark type, a type that infamously took forever to get any gym leaders. The 2 Dark type gym leaders are Piers and his successor Marnie, but I'm also going to include Nanu since Kahunas function very similarly to gym leaders. Piers and Marnie's fullest teams are their champion tournaments teams. Nanu's is his Sun and Moon second battle team. Comparing these 3, the decision is actually quite easy. Marnie has 3 team members that have a type that's strong against Dark: Toxicroak, Scrafty, and Grimmsnarl. Piers only has 1, and Nanu doesn't have any. While Liepard and Morpeko are lower on the base stat total side of things, I believe the rest of her team could handle the other gym leaders on their own. Marnie is clearly the strongest Dark-type gym leader. Aha! It is I, Grunty Boy! Ugh, what do you want? Oh, dude, you smell awful! Did you stop bathing again? What? No, I have been very on top of my personal hygiene. I've even gone the extra mile and tried out a new cologne today. Essence of Grimer. That says Essence of Grimer. You know, the Pokemon that smells too putrid to touch. What? No way. I will bet you right now that this smells amazing. Okay, my bad. I will get this out of here right away so that you don't have to. stench that you doused me with. Ooh, are you using soap from Dr. Squatch, the sponsor of today's video? I absolutely am, actually, yeah. Their soap isn't packed with harsh chemicals and instead has natural cleansers and nourishing ingredients that are great for your skin, all made in the USA. They come in a huge range of natural scents, like their best-selling pine tar scent, which is quickly becoming one of my favorites. And that is why I'm here. I got Grimmaire stench on me too, and I wanted to get clean using your Dr. Squatch stuff, which is amazing. It's changed the way I shower. You have your own. I gave you some. Well, yes, but I want more. Then buy more. New customers can get 20% off orders of $20 or more by heading to drsquatch.com, linked in the description below, and using code DSCMNJTV20. So, now that you have that information, you can get out! Fine, but I'm taking some Dr. Squatch stuff with me. Get a bar here, get a bar there, and ooh, shampoo. Ooh, conditioner! Oh, excellent! And you can't just take all my soap! I'm literally doing it right now, so clearly I can. Ta-ta! Ugh. Anyways, thanks so much to Dr. Squatch for sponsoring this video, but now let's get back to it after I finish my shower. Next up is Dragon. The gym leaders are Claire, Drayden, and Raihan. Iris was a Dragon-type gym leader, but in her most recent appearance, she's a champion, so not a gym leader anymore. Claire's fullest team is her Heart Gold Soul Silver rematch team. Drayden's is his Unova Leaders tournament team, and Raihan's is his Champion tournament team. Immediately, we can see that Raihan only has 5 Pokemon, while the others have 6. However, unlike with Viola, I'm not gonna count his lack of a full team against him. With Viola, she only had 2 Pokemon and no other official Pokemon anywhere else in the games. But Raihan has other teams with different Pokemon. Those Pokemon specifically are Gigalith and Sandaconda from his gym battle team. So for any gym leaders who don't have any full teams of 6, if they have other Pokemon that they use in other teams, I'm allowing myself to take one of those Pokemon and fill out their team with it. So for Raihan, I'm gonna use Sandaconda, since it's the more reptilian and dragon-like between it and Gigalith. Looking at the 3 teams, Drayden has an immediate advantage by having 2 fully evolved pseudo-legendary Pokemon, compared to just 1 each for Claire and Raihan. Drayden is also unique from the other 2, because his team is the only one to be entirely Dragon-type. This is both helpful and hurtful, since it means he has more Pokemon to deal with the others' Dragon types, which is also more Pokemon weak to their Dragon types. One thing I can say is that Claire beats Raihan. Raihan has 2 Fire types and 2 Ground types, both of which are completely walled by every member of her team except Dragonair. That leaves his Dragon type attacks, but only half her team is Dragon type. In short, Claire's non-Dragon type coverage, mainly water and flying, are better than Raihan's other types. I don't think Drayden has as much of an advantage over Raihan, but since Claire beats him so handily, we can disqualify Raihan. As for who's superior between Claire and Drayden, it's tough to say based on species matchups due to what I mentioned earlier about having more Dragon types being a double-edged sword. I think the best way to break this tie will be averaging their team's base stat totals to see overall which team just has stronger Pokemon. Claire's team's average base stat total is 526.8. Drayden's is 539.17. Meaning Drayden's team is overall stronger, making him the strongest Dragon gym leader. Interestingly though, if Claire's Dragonair had been fully evolved, she would have won by a lot. Her average jumps up to like 563. So honestly, I think it's a bit poetic that Drayden won over Claire. Claire is not the strongest Dragon gym leader because she failed to bring out the full potential of all of her Pokemon. And also is a sore loser who wouldn't just give me my freaking badge. Next up is the electric type. The gym leaders are Lieutenant Surge, Watson, Volkner, Elisa, and Clement. Lieutenant Surge's full team is his Heart Gold Soul Silver rematch team. Watson's is his Hoenn Leaders tournament team, since his final Emerald rematch team is not fully evolved due to Magnezone not existing yet. Volkner's team is his Sinnoh Leaders tournament team, since his Platinum rematch team is only 5 Pokemon and his World Leaders team is dumb because it makes his Rotom Fan Rotom. Against other electric types, that would be dumb. Elisa's team is her Unova Leaders Tournament team, and Clement's fullest team is his gym battle team, which obviously immediately makes him the worst of the bunch. Of the 4 remaining, Elisa's notable for having Stunfisk, the only ground type and thus the only Pokemon of the whole bunch that can deal super effective stab damage to all the other electric types. Additionally, her Electros with no weaknesses is an impressive Pokemon. And with Zebstrika, Stunfisk, and Emolga, if it has its hidden ability, half her team is totally immune to electric. Lieutenant Surgeon Volkner are using Earthquake-capable Electivires, but Electros and Emolga stop those quite well. She doesn't have the highest average base stat total of these 4, having 482 on average, but that's less than 20 points behind the highest average, which is Volkner with about 500. Her having Stunfisk and Electros is really helpful though, and I think I have to give the crown to Elisa, mainly because of how useful those 2 Pokemon are. Next up is Fairy. The gym leaders are Valerie, Opal, and Bede. Valerie's best team is her 3 Pokemon gym team, so she is immediately disqualified. Opal's fullest team is her gym battle team, while Bede's is his champion tournament team. While Bede would clearly win here since he has an extra Pokemon, I still think he would win even if Opal did have one more. Their Mawwiles cancel out, and while that does leave Opal with a poison-type Weezing, Bede has more than enough psychic types to deal with it. Bede is the strongest fairy-type gym leader. After that is fighting. The gym leaders are Chuck, Brawly, Maylene, Karina, and Bee, plus Hala as Kahuna. Chuck's fullest team is his Heart Gold Soul Silver rematch team. Brawly's is his Emerald rematch team. Maylene's is her Sinnoh Leaders Tourney team. Karina's is her gym battle team, so obviously she's out despite having a Mega Lucario elsewhere. It's just not enough to only have 4 Pokemon. Hala's is his second battle team from Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon that I will fill out using Primeape from his Sun and Moon teams. Finally, Bee's team is her champion tournament team, filled in using Hitmontop from her gym battle team. Hala is immediately out because 2 of his Pokemon are weak to fighting, a disadvantage no other fighting leaders have. Of the remaining 4, Maylene is the clear winner in my eyes. While Brawly and Chuck both have a Medicham and Bee has a Hawlucha, Pokemon that are strong against fighting, Maylene has both a Medicham and a Gallade, plus a Toxicroak that resists fighting. She does have a Lucario that's weak to fighting, but the other 3 more than make up for that. Plus she has Infernape, one of the strongest non-legend, non-mega fighting types out there. Maylene is definitely the strongest fighting type gym leader. Next is Fire. The gym leaders are Blaine, Flannery, Chili, and Kabu. Blaine's best team is his Kanto Leaders Tournament team, since his Heart Gold Soul Silver rematch team doesn't give him an Arcanine, which I think is absurd since that's his ace from the Kanto games. Flannery's is her Emerald rematch team. Chili's is his World Leaders Tournament team, since it has an Emboar while his Unova Leaders does not. And Kabu's team is his Champions Tournament team that cannot be filled out, since these are all the Pokemon he ever uses. As you may have noticed, these teams have a lot of overlap. Flannery's team stands out though, because she has 2 Pokemon, Magcargo and Camerupt, whose secondary types are strong against fire. Chili has 1 Pokemon like that, and the other 2 have none. This is enough for me to classify Flannery as the strongest. Next is Flying. The gym leaders are Falkner, Winona, and Skyla. Falkner's team is his Heart Gold Soul Silver rematch team. Winona's is her Emerald rematch team, and Skyla's is her Unova Leaders Tournament team. Winona's team immediately catches eyes because of Dragonite, Skarmory, and Dragon Dancing Altaria. Tropius is dead weight, but those 3 will be the Pokemon to beat. Falkner's only real answer for Dragonite is Ice Beam on Pelipper, but Dragonite is faster and can learn Thunderbolt. Skyla's Swanna is faster than Dragonite though, but I did the calcs on completely neutral sets, and Swanna cannot OHKO Dragonite with Ice Beam, even if it doesn't have Multiscale, while Dragonite's Thunderbolt does OHKO Swanna. In short, the other 2 do not have answers for Dragonite, so that plus a defensive Steel Wall in Skarmory and another Dragon Sweeper makes Winona the strongest. Next up is Ghost, another interesting type like Dragon because it's strong against itself. The Ghost gym leaders are Morty, Fantina, and Alistair. Morty's best team is his Heart Gold Soul Silver rematch team. Fantina's is her Sinnoh Leaders Tournament team, and Alistair's team is his Champion Tournament team, filled out with Mimikyu from his Gym Battle team. I could have done Poltegeist, but Mimikyu is a better Pokemon. Of the 3, I think Alistair is the weakest of the bunch. mainly because he lacks a very useful dark ghost type like the other two. Plus, his team is on average slower, which is a huge problem in a double-edged sword battle against other ghost types. As for the final two, their teams are darn near identical. Both have Mismagius, Driftblim, Dusknoir, and Gengar. If we cancel all those out, we are left with Morty's Sableye and Gengar versus Fantina's Rotom and Spiritomb. Looking at these, I have to give the edge to Fantina. Both of them have a dark ghost Pokemon that is not weak to ghost, but Sableye is just super weak in general, having a base stat total of only 380. Morty's fast Gengar is good, but Sableye really detracts from things. Spiritomb is much better, and while Rotom is on the weaker side, it's not as weak as Sableye. Fantina gets the win. Next, we have Grass. The gym leaders are Erica, Gardenia, Silent, Ramos, and Milo. Erica's team is her Kanto Leaders tourney team, since her Heart Gold Soul Silver rematch team has Bellossom instead of her classic ace Vileplume, so I'm going with a team that has both. Gardenia's team is her Sinnoh Leaders tournament team, Silent's team is his Unova Leaders tournament team, Ramos's is his gym team, which clearly won't cut it, and Milo's is his champion tournament team, well, sort of. Milo has different teams depending on the version, and whether you've done the Galarian Star Tournament or not, it's kind of complicated and very annoying, but I'll just say right now, he's not the strongest one. He doesn't have any poison types, so we can just kick him out. That leaves Erica, Gardenia, and Silent. Erica is a strong contender due to half her team being grass poison. Gardenia only has one grass poison type in comparison, and Silent has no grass poison types. But he does have a grass flying Jumpluff and the grass steel Ferrothorn. Erica and Silent are clearly stronger than Gardenia, but between the two remaining, I have to give it to Erica. Her poison types wipe out every member of Silent's team except Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn will be tough for her to take down, but when she has her entire team to do that, multiple of which can learn fighting moves, I think she'll be able to handle it. Additionally, Silent's Jumpluff isn't actually that helpful because all of the flying moves it learns are physical and it has terrible physical attack. Erica is the strongest grass gym leader. Next is Ground. Ground only has two gym leaders, Giovanni and Clay, two cranky old ruthless businessmen, and then there's the Kahuna Hapu, who is a small girl, which I just think that's funny. Giovanni's fullest team as a gym leader is his Kanto Leaders tournament team. Clay's is his Unova Leaders tournament team, and Hapu's is her Ultra Sun and Moon title defense team, filled out by Alolan Dugtrio from her Sun and Moon teams. Clay is the easy victor here due to having both a water and an ice type. Additionally, none of his team is weak to ground, while Hapu's Dugtrio is weak to it, and 2/3 of Giovanni's team is weak to it. Next up is Ice. The Ice gym leaders are Price, Candice, Bryson, Wulfric, and Melanie. Price's team is his Heart Gold Soul Silver rematch team. Candice's is her Sinnoh Leaders tournament team. Bryson's is his Unova Leaders tournament team. Wulfric's is his gym battle team, and Melanie's is her Champions tourney team that cannot be filled out because she only ever uses these 5 Pokemon. Wulfric and Melanie are immediately out due to failing to have 6 Pokemon. For the remaining 3, they have quite a lot of overlap, especially Price. His entire team is used by one of the other 2. Because their teams are so similar, and because none of the Pokemon have a secondary typing strong against Ice, I have to calculate average base stat totals. Price's average is about 498, Candice's is about 503, and Bryson's is about 512. That makes Bryson the strongest Ice gym leader to me, but I will say this matchup is quite a bit closer than most of the others. Next up is Normal. The gym leaders are Whitney, Norman, Lenora, and Charon. Whitney's team is her Heart Gold Soul Silver rematch team, but swapping out Clefable for Ambipom. All these matchups assume modern day battle mechanics, which means Clefable is not a normal type anymore, it's a fairy type, and that wouldn't make sense for her to use it. So I'm replacing it with a Pokemon, Ambipom, from her Johto Leaders Pokemon World Tournament team. Norman's team is his Emerald rematch team. Lenora's team is her Unova Leaders tournament team, with Clefable swapped out for Stoutland for the same reason as Whitney. And Charon's is his Unova Leaders tournament team. Clearly, Charon wins because he uses a cast form. Hail yeah! I'm kidding, the cast form is actually a detriment, which makes me sad, but whatever. To me, Norman is easily the strongest. While his Slackings must deal with Truant, they are incredibly powerful when they can hit. and they can both learn a ton of fighting type moves, as can his Kangaskhan. Well, it doesn't matter much since I'm assuming all these battles are single battles. If they were double battles, Norman would absolutely devastate the others by having his Blissey or Spinda skill swap Truant off his Slackings. Next up is Poison. The gym leaders are only Janine and Roxy. At the most recent point in the timeline, Koga is an Elite Four member, not a gym leader, so we're not discussing him. And we're also not gonna be covering Clara. While she is officially a minor league gym leader now, it's minor league. This is the major leagues, baby. Janine's team is her Heart Gold Soul Silver rematch team, and Roxy's is her Unova Leaders tournament team. The teams are quite similar, both having Crobat and Drapion, neither having a ground or psychic type, and they both have multiple Pokemon that can learn Earthquake. Janine's Ariados can learn Psychic, but that's not that impressive due to Ariados having poor special attack. Because of all these similarities, the best way to compare them is once again average base stat total. Janine's is 477.5, while Roxy's is 486, so I'm giving the win to Roxy. This makes sense to me since Janine's Ariados really drags down the average. She would have won if she used a stronger Pokemon whose base stat total was closer to her other Pokemon. Next up is Psychic. The leaders are Sabrina, Tate and Liza, and Olympia. Like Clara, Avery is just a minor league gym leader, and that's not good enough for this video. Also, Tate and Liza will be counted together because while they battle separately in other situations, like the Pokemon World Tournament, they fight together in their gym battles. Sabrina's team is her Heart Gold Soul Silver rematch team. Tate and Liza's team is their Emerald rematch team. Olympia's is her gym team, which immediately disqualifies her. Comparing the last two, I have to give the win to Sabrina. Alakazam is the strongest Pokemon of all of them due to being fast and strong, and with access to Shadow Ball, it would be devastating. Gallade is also very useful, being one of the few physical attacking psychic types, and with access to both Leaf Blade and Night Slash, it covers all of Tate and Liza's team. Wobbuffet may seem like dead weight, but anyone who's played a Nuzlocke and run into one of these knows that there's a good chance it takes out at least one Pokemon. Sabrina is the winner. Next up is Rock. The gym leaders are Brock, Roxanne, Rourke, Grant, and Gordy, plus the kahuna Olivia. Brock's team is his Heart Gold Soul Silver rematch team. Roxanne's is her Hoenn Leaders tournament team, since her Emerald rematch team didn't use most of the Hoenn Rock types, which I think is dumb. Rourke's team is his Sinnoh Leaders tournament team. Olivia's is her Ultra Sun and Moon League team, filled out by Alolan Golem from her Sun and Moon team. Grant's is his gym team, and Gordy's is his champion tournament team, which I cannot fill out. Grant and Gordy are immediately out because they failed to have teams of 6 Pokemon. Looking at the secondary typings of the remaining Pokemon, Brock has 5 with other types good against Rock, as does Roxanne, while Rourke has 4 and Olivia only has 2, so that's enough for me to oust Rourke and Olivia. For the remaining 2, it's close, but I have to give the edge to Roxanne for 2 main reasons. The first is that Brock doesn't have a good answer for Cradily. If he had a steel type, it'd be different, but as of now, Cradily decimates his team, and he has no super effective stab to hit it back. The second reason is Onix. If it was a Steelix, he'd be in great shape, but Onix is so weak that it really holds him back. Roxanne is the winner. Next up is Steel. The only gym leaders are Jasmine and Byron. Peony is a previous Steel type gym leader, but since you can never fight him while he's a gym leader, I don't think you should count. It's the same reason I'm not counting Mustard for the fighting type group. Jasmine's team is her Heart Gold Soul Silver rematch team, and Byron's is his Sinnoh Leaders tournament team. Both of them have Steelix, Magnezone, and Bronzong, so those cancel out. For the remaining Pokemon, Jasmine is the clear winner. Empoleon's water type handles half of Byron's team, and her Metagross is a freaking pseudo-legendary. Also, Byron's Bastiodon and Aggron both have 2 4x weaknesses, one of which is ground that Jasmine's Steelix covers with stab. And finally is Water. The gym leaders are Misty, Juan, not Wallace because he moved up to champion, Crasher, Wake, Cress, Marlin, and Nessa. Misty's team is her Heart Gold Soul Silver rematch team. Juan's is his Emerald rematch team. Wake's is his Sinnoh Leaders team. Cress's is his Unova Leaders team, as is Marlin's, and Nessa's is her Champions Tournament team, filled out by Barrascuda from a previous team. While this is a lot of teams to compare, the winner is clear to me. Misty. That's because she is the only one to have a Pokemon whose secondary type is strong against water, Lantern. Additionally, both Starmie and Lapras can learn Thunderbolt, and Lapras gets Freeze Dry, the ice move super effective against water. Other leaders have some of those perks, but none of them have as many as Misty. So to summarize, the strongest gym leaders for each of the 18 types are Berg for Bug, Marnie for Dark, Drayden for Dragon, Elisa for Electric, Bede for Fairy, Maylene for Fighting, Flannery for Fire, Winona for Flying, Fantina for Ghost, Erica for Grass, Clay for Ground, Bryson for Ice, Norman for Normal, Roxy for Poison, Sabrina for Psychic, Roxanne for Rock, Jasmine for Steel, and Misty for Water. Don't forget to pick up a hat or a plushie or both from mnjtvmerch.com, and thank you so much for watching. With an extra special thanks to my patrons over on Patreon who are helping support my channel independent of fluctuating YouTube ad rates. If you want to help support me in the same way, the link is in the description below. Also, if you want to check out some more of my fun Pokemon content, I recommend these videos here. All right, that's all I have for now. So until next time, big fans, gotta catch them all.